Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Kita sambung kita punya lesson dalam this course, the second topic. Bukanlah second topic pun. This still dalam topic 1, Introduction to Management and the Management Environment. So, topic 1 tu dia ada 2 slides, okay? So, banyaknya dalam topik ni, for those of you who had taken the USMG10, benda ni macam is just a breeze of air je, sebab macam banyak benda yang dah cover, but then adalah benda-benda yang baru yang kita nak kena bincang. Okay, so external environment refers to factors, forces, situations and events outside the organisation that affect its performance. So dalam topik ni kita akan belajar internal environment dengan external environment. Internal environment ni environment dalam company tu sendiri, in any kind of organisation. What happen in that organisation is what we call as internal environment. Okay, kalau external environment pula, benda ni kita cakap we usually say that external environment is something that is uncontrollable. Okay, it refers to factors, forces, situations and events outside the organisation that affect its performance. So walaupun benda tu berlaku externally, but it can affect the organisation entirely. So that is external environment. So these are the components of external environment. Kita ada political, legal environment, demographics environment, economic environment, social cultural, technological and global environment. So kadang ni basically yang mana dah belajar dalam USMG11 memang dah tahu dalam benda ni kan. Memang pap dah settle dah. Okay, kalau siapa yang rasa macam confident apa semua, just ignore je this video. Okay, so in this syllabus, we are going to cover 2 parts, which are economic and demographic factors. So kalau kita tengok dekat sini tadi kan, dekat exhibit 2.1 ni, dalam components of external environment dia ada 6, tapi dalam textbook ni we are going to cover only 2, demographics and economic environment. Sebab apa? Sebab macam sekarang ni the focus of this textbook ialah kita nak tengok how to tackle the issues of gender bias ke, ataupun unequal wage payment based on certain biological traits ke, macam tu lah. And then economic tu sendiri. Okay, so first we look at the economics and management, the relationship between these two. Labour productivity is the measure of how fast a unit of labour may contribute to the growth of a firm's outlook. Okay, so dekat sini first you have to understand the concept of labour productivity. Contohnya lah kan, contohnya kalau let's say I will use myself as an example kan. Productivity ni kalau usually a lecturer selalunya has the capacity of teaching for one semester maybe 9 hours. Okay, but then if I were to given orang kata apa, another 9 hours, so it totals up into 18 hours of teaching. Okay, so guys, nampak tak, I have higher productivity as compared to other lecturers. Sebab ada je lecturers yang dia punya working ataupun dia punya teaching capacity tu, teaching hours tu 9 hours, but I have 18 hours, which is I have a double up orang kata apa, teaching period lah. So maksudnya dekat situ I have higher productivity. Okay, seorang je, like you don't need to hire another new lecturer, but then you can put that 9 hours into me, to me kat situ. So nampak tak the concept of labour productivity? So the higher the labour productivity, the better the future of the company's performance. Of course, productivity is not necessarily the only factor, but we are keeping things simple. Okay, of course, memang obviously bukan setakat labour productivity, it has to follow like a lot of factors. Kalau kita dah cakapkan tadi, internal environment dengan external environment. Kalau kita sentuh, kalau kita cakap pasal labour productivity saja tak boleh, sebab memang banyak factors lain, but we have to keep this thing simple. Okay, so this labour productivity is translated and calculated on the macro level of the economy. That is all available business entities in the nation will turn in the productivity report to the government to measure the economic growth with respect to labour productivity. So dekat sini dia nak cakap labour productivity ni, walaupun kita tak perasan, but then at the end of the day, managers have the responsibility. Managers in every organisation, okay, yang ada kaitan dengan labor productivity ni, dia kena buat calculation. Ada banyak lah series of orang kata apa, calculation yang dia kena buat, okay, and then dia kena report dekat the government to indicate whether the economic growth ataupun the labor productivity of this nation, let's say kalau negara Malaysia macam mana, it is getting higher or getting lower. Okay, so in this sense, a stupendous management technique is necessary because without good management, productivity may not be exerted properly, leaving traces of wasted opportunity on becoming economically prosper. Okay, kalau kita belajar sebelum ni dalam slide nombor 1 kan, kata apa, managers are expected to have to be efficient, in which reduce the resource kan, reduce the resource but to have a higher amount of effectiveness. Dia punya attainment of the goals tu kata apa, tinggi lah. So kat sini dekat point number bawah economics and management 1, 2, 3, 4 ni, point number 4, dia nak cakap kalau a manager does not perform a good job, dia punya macam cost of operation tu lagi tinggi lah. So kat sini macam dia tak perasan sebenarnya labor memang dia nampak macam biasa, tapi dia tak perasan sebenarnya kalau hire another new worker, dia punya cost of operation is getting higher and then productivity pun rendah. Sebab apa? Sebab dia punya productivity is shared between one labor to another. Nampak tak? So simply put, if labor productivity is high, there's a good chance that firms may want to employ more labor to utilize the efficiency. This impact may result in more individuals be hired and they will get paid for the job performed. So kalau macam yang point number 4 tadi, kalau nak cakap wasted opportunities ataupun wasted resources tu, kalau dia punya kerja tu tak banyak, and then kalau kerja tu tak banyak, and then dia hire orang lain pula nak buat kerja tu, dia jadi redundant. So nak kena bayar orang tu punya gaji lagi, nak cover dia punya medical expenses lagi, tapi the productivity ataupun dia punya output tu tak banyak. Jadi macam motif sangat nak hire that new person. Tapi kalau dalam company tu dia punya productivity is high and then dia nak tingkatkan lagi the productivity, what can it do? The company hires a new worker. Okay, bila dah hire new worker, managers are responsible to ensure that the productivity tu in par, okay, at par. So macam orang kata apa, kalau dah ada higher level, ada kata apa, at certain level tu, okay, kalau boleh tingkatkan lagi, okay, because higher productivity in labor, okay, is always better off. Okay, so when they have income, they will spend the income on whatever they need and want. Spend income will be recorded and it will be used to indicate economic growth based on the ability to buy goods and use services. So bila kata apa, company tu nampak higher productivity in labor, dia pun hire new labor force. So dia punya kaedah kat sini, kita dah ambil pekerja baru, of course pekerja tu dia nak dapat dia punya bayaran. So kita bagi bayaran in terms of salary, in terms of compensation. So dengan duit yang dia ada tu, dia boleh berbelanja. Okay, bila dia boleh berbelanja, dia boleh makan apa semua, dia akan translate into the economic growth tau, in terms of GDP. Specifically part consumption. Consumption tu ada pembelian barang dengan perkhidmatan. Jadi bila dia beli barang kat situ, maksudnya nampak tak kemampuan orang tu, orang kata apa, in general the ability to purchase within, orang kata apa, for the citizen is getting higher. So dekat situ kita boleh nampak at the end of the year dia punya economic growth tu will be higher. Okay, so memang nampak besar-besar, tapi sebenarnya if you can grip the understanding kat sini, memang sangat mudah nak difahami. Okay, in order to achieve the successful economic development, managers play important role in carrying out the duty to ensure that staff contribution in terms of their service capacity can be maximized. So kat sini economics and management ni nampaklah dia punya hubung kaitnya, okay, kaitan dia. Okay, managers are responsible to ensure kata apa, good performance and good labor productivity, and then kata apa, compensate the labor force with stipulated ataupun with ample amount of salary, and then the salary will be used to spend or whatever kena save ke apa, and it will be translated into the better economic growth. Okay, that is the relationship between these two, economics and management. Okay, now moving on to demographics and management. Demographics refers to the characteristics of a population used for the purpose of social studies. Demographic ni selalunya macam kita tengok, bukanlah kalau dalam satu tempat tu, satu population, contohnya Malaysia is composed with what? Has a composition of kalau kita ikut dia punya rakyat dia kan, the people, okay, kita ada Melayu, kita ada orang Cina, kita ada orang India, kita ada orang asli, ada semua suku kaum banyak lah kat Malaysia. Okay, lepas tu dia punya kata apa, level of education. Okay, level of education tu can be distinguished based on the area kat situ. Okay, so kita boleh bezakan, tengok beza the percentage of male and female macam mana. Okay, kalau kat dalam organisation tu berapa persen lelaki Melayu, berapa persen lelaki Cina, berapa persen lelaki India. Those studies yang kita nak kira ataupun kita nak tengok. Okay, so in almost organizations all around the world, we would have a composition of workers that have diverse demographic backgrounds. It is undeniably true. Okay, kalau nanti dah kerja, tengoklah kan, memang akan ada a diverse set of people working in an organisation. So tak semestinya kalau kau kerja situ banyak Melayu, kalau company Melayu banyak Melayu, tak semestinya. Tapi there's a company like that yang memang racially condensed to one a certain orang kata apa, certain orang kata apa, certain race lah kat situ. Okay, so gender, contohlah demographic punya variables ni adalah gender. We initially had 2 biological genders, but now the gender spectrum has now been due to social pressure factors. Okay, kalau tak sebelum ni, okay, banyak the context of banyak orang kata apa, studies made by researchers. Dia cakap macam mana beza antara pendapatan lelaki dengan perempuan walaupun jawatannya adalah sama. Okay, nampak tak perbezaan dia? Kalau lelaki dapat maybe dalam 20% higher the salary, annual salary. Kalau perempuan, dia punya annual salary would be lower. Okay, kenapa jadi macam tu? Itu yang kena dibincangkan. Okay, tapi sekarang macam mana dengan banyaknya orang kata apa, Allah tak tahulah, LGBTQIA semua tu kan. Okay, kena tengok kena tengok benda-benda macam tu. Kalau salah cakap sikit je kena cancel, salah cakap sikit je nanti cakap kata apa, slur lah, apalah, banyak kaedah dia. Okay, so kalau orang kata apa, moving on from gender, kalau kita tengok age wise, people are legally allowed to work at the age of 18, and there are various ages imposed by countries to retire. Okay, memanglah kalau legally speaking nak start kerja umur 18 baru akan ada data dalam labor force. Tapi setiap company dia ada different method of kata apa, to tell the workers when to retire. Ada company 50 tahun, ada company 55 tahun, ada company 60 tahun, ada company yang kata okay, kau kerja sampai kau mati, no problem, as you contribute to the company. Okay, sebab apa? Kalau kadang-kadang kenapa dia ada letak age restriction? Sebab lama-lama capacity of kata apa, old people tu tak kata apa, tak setinggi dengan orang muda. Sebab tu lah dia kena retire. Okay, tapi ada je orang yang tua still dia punya productivity is still the same masa dia muda-muda. Okay, so racial identity wise, we have diverse choices of workers employed in a single organisation. Kena tengok dia punya latar belakang, kata apa, the biological factors lah. Okay, contohnya macam kita macam dalam kata apa, kita kat Malaysia. Okay, Malaysia majority of Malaysians are Muslim. So kalau kita pergi highway pun, having a surau ataupun musola tu is not a weird thing. Okay, compare tu kalau kita pergi kat tempat lain kan, ada ke mall kat tempat lain ada surau? Tak ada. Okay, tak ada musola. Kat Malaysia one of the malls yang ada surau lah kan, sebab we are predominantly Muslim. So benda tu kena tengok. Okay, kalau macam dalam company, kena jaga sensitivity ni. kalau macam walaupun company is not is owned by non-Muslim, tapi the manager atau the manager has to think lah, okay, how to provide orang kata apa, good facilities in terms of religious punya kata apa, ritual. Okay, kena provide kat situ. Tengoklah nanti kalau nak macam bulan puasa, okay, break pukul berapa sampai pukul berapa. For Muslim maybe setengah jam, from 12 from 1 to 1:30 from 1:30 ke pukul from 1:30 to 2, okay, sebab nak sembahyang zuhur pukul 1:30 kan, okay. So kena setengah jalan, lepas tu boleh balik awal. Itu dia punya kaedah. Okay, and then culture. People from different nations have different cultural values and understanding. Okay, budaya. A good example macam mana budaya, contohnya budaya datang lambat bekerja. Okay, even though it sounds very, orang kata apa, very negative, tapi ada je company yang macam kau datang lambat pun tak ada masalah. Okay, another thing, kalau macam kalau kita belajar dekat higher education ni, the incentive to cheat in examination. Kita orang Malaysia ni in general, we are so kind as compared to other people all around the world. Okay, especially those yang coming from Middle East punya countries. Okay, those people, diorang kan macam dalam quiz ke, dalam exam ke apa, memang sentiasa nak meniru. Tak kisahlah how strict the exam is, memang kalau boleh nak meniru, tak boleh nak meniru. That is the culture yang diorang dah terapkan dalam diorang punya minda. Okay, walaupun nampak adalah religious justification apa semua, but then they don't care. Okay, as long as they pass the course. Okay, so and then in management, universally, managers must be particular in planning, organising, leading and controlling the workforce so as not to offend any set of demography. Okay, kena memang jadi orang kata apa, jadi manager ni, kita macam banyak lah, bukan setakat on the work itself, but we have to focus on kata apa, other particular factors that are just relatively important. Okay, sebab apa, kalau kita offend je salah satu benda ni, macam memang jadi lumpuh the institution as a whole. Okay, nak waktu sekarang yang sentiasa orang kata update dekat internet. Okay, so as the world progresses, societal sensitivity is some of the most important factors in managing the employees. Kalau kita nak buat orang kata apa, marketing strategy kan, nak buat marketing advertisement, macam mana kita nak buat nak advertise kita punya orang kata apa, video that is nak promote Intel kan. Intel is ramainya orang Melayu, lepas tu buatlah video ramai orang Melayu. Jadi macam mana kita nak tarik other demography, okay, other races, contoh macam orang India dengan Cina, how to we attract. Okay, kita include lah dalam video tu orang kata apa, a set of diverse people. Okay, diverse people from different orang kata apa, racial background. Okay, alright, tu salah satu contoh lah. Okay, this is the relationship between demographics and management. So how to assess environmental uncertainty? Okay, external environments are uncontrollable. However, managers need to adapt and nurture the surrounding factors. Okay, orang kata apa, benda-benda luar memang kita tak boleh nak control, but then apa yang manager boleh buat, dia cuma macam, dia tak boleh lah macam tengok dengan redha, tak. Okay, dia kena tengok and then dia kena proses. Sebab itulah pentingnya orang kata apa, a manager to have analytical skills tau. Sebab dia kena pantas. Kalau dia lambat, nanti dia punya orang kata apa, wastage of resources lagi banyak. Okay, dia kena pantas berfikir how to overcome this problem, how to overcome. Tengok macam PKP ni kan, company tiba je hari Jumaat bagi perutusan hari pekerja, lepas tu hari Isnin kena buka balik, kena resume the operation. Nampak? Dia jadi macam, you have to think fast lah. You want to cope with the rules and orang kata apa, ridiculous rules and regulations kan. Nak buat macam mana, kenalah follow. Okay, ada dah bagi guideline SOP apa semua tu, kena follow. Okay, so utilize all the available resources and acknowledge limitations as a means of driving stronger motivation. Janganlah, kalau even if there is a simple inconvenience, I know someone who has the problem with simple inconvenience pun dia macam give up kat semua benda. Tak boleh. A manager has to be strong. Okay, walaupun benda tu tak go along within our intention, okay, our goals tu dia macam backfire sikit pun, macam kita tak boleh nak mengalah. We have to take that, orang kata apa, limitation as opportunity for us to become even more motivated. Okay. However, management is all about reducing the future uncertainty. No matter how precise a form of management is, we will always face with uncertainty. Okay. Plan lah sehabis baik mana pun, plan lah orang kata apa, nak belajar ke sungguh-sungguh pun, lepas tu tiba-tiba kena duduk rumah. You have to shift your way of study. Macam saya sendiri pun, I'm not gonna lie, okay, PKP ni has screwed up my sleeping pattern. Okay, that's why I pre-recorded my video. Sebab memang tak larat gila nak buat kelas waktu pagi yang oi. Rasa macam ya Allah letihnya. How do I make learning to be more, orang kata apa, feasible in terms of this? Sebab ada student maybe dia macam dia punya internet connection tak kuat, ataupun dia punya technical punya part tu macam komputer ke apa ke, ada komputer yang old on older version of models ke. Okay, so nak install semua benda tu jadi lambat. Okay, I have to make things accessible and feasible to all my students. Tak boleh lah pukul rata, mentang-mentang Intech semua private student, so private student kaya. Tak boleh. Yeah, I have to think about that. Okay, that's why macam orang cakap, okay, I have a plan in my mind. Okay, what do I want to do with my student apa semua. Okay, I have to think faster. That is what we call as orang kata apa, assessing the uncertainty. We cannot avoid uncertainty, but then we can minimize the risk of losses when uncertainty hits. Okay, so that's why there is environmental uncertainty matrix. Okay, so this is the matrix. Okay, kita tengok cell 1, cell 2, cell 3 and cell 4. Okay, kalau degree of change, dia punya x-axis ni, dia punya degree of change ni lagi yang kata apa, lagi ke depan tu, lagi yang kata apa, bila ke kanan tu maksudnya the higher degree of change lah. Kalau y-axis ni degree of complexity. Okay, the higher the value, the higher the complexity. Okay, so stable, dynamic. Okay, kalau kita tengok cell 1 ni, uncertainty dia dia punya complex taklah, memang tak complex. No. Wait, simple, complex. Okay, kalau degree of complexity ni, the higher dia punya ke, supposedly it should be different. Okay, tak apa. So kalau cell 1 kita ada stable dengan simple. So kat sini dia tak adalah complex sangat according to this book. Okay, dia kata kalau cell 1 ni dia tak complex sangat. Okay, and then degree dia tu macam the changes tu tak berapa nak core. So that what we call as the uncertainty is in this simple and stable uncertainty. Okay, so stable and predictable environment, few components in environment, components are somewhat similar and remain basically the same, and minimal need for sophisticated knowledge of components. For example, kalau contohnya stable and simple ni kata apa, let's say working hours lah. Okay, contohnya macam working hours tu sendiri, kalau macam nampak macam orang kata apa, before this nampak staff datang kerja macam sambil lewa, bagi kelonggaran, datang kerja pukul 9 balik pukul 3. But now to see, walaupun datang pukul 9 balik pukul 3, tetap juga ada yang datang lambat daripada pukul 9. So what can a manager do? Impose new working hours from 8 to 5 just through a simple email. Dah settle. Okay, tak kompleks, but still boleh control sebab di dalam internal punya decision. Nampak tak? Okay, so kalau cell 2 dynamic, okay, the change required is very hardcore lah, tapi simple je. Dynamic and unpredictable environment, few components environment, components are somewhat similar but are continually changing. Okay, and minimal need for sophisticated knowledge for components. Kata apa, kalau macam dynamic ni, dia macam dalam cell 1 tapi dia punya changes tu kena lagi besar sikit. Kalau kita rasanya kalau nak guna in terms of working hours tadi, mungkin lah orang kata apa, to prevent, walaupun 8-5, to prevent from labor turnover, apa yang kami tu buat untuk orang kata apa, enhance lagi, even though increase in working hours tu banyak kan. So tapi macam mana kita nak kurangkan orang kata apa dissatisfaction within among our employees. Okay, so kenalah fikir macam tu. Okay, cell 3 and cell 4 ni stable, complex, dynamic and complex. Rasanya kita cell 4 ni yang paling tinggi lah. Dynamic and unpredictable environment. Many components are not similar to one another and are continually changing. Okay, and always need for sophisticated knowledge of components. Okay, this is the environmental uncertainty matrix. Okay, moving on to the organizational stakeholders. For those of you who have taken USET 11 last semester on spring, okay, kelas Pago, rasanya macam boleh skip je. But dengar pun anda dipersilakan. Okay, for Florida dengan Flynn, this one tak cover in your syllabus previous in your semester. Okay, sebab saya tak I did not update the syllabus. So but now nevertheless kita belajar je lah kan. Okay, so kalau untuk stakeholders ni, okay, orang kata apa, anyone lah yang ada direct, whether orang kata apa ada direct and indirect effect of kata apa decision on organizational level. So buat apa je kalau company kalau dia buat apa-apa decision dia, okay, these are the stakeholders yang akan kena dia punya tempias je. Okay, kita start dengan kita punya the first one would be apa, employees. Okay, pekerja, our employees will have a direct effect of any organizational punya decision. Okay, kalau macam tadi cakap datang kerja pukul 8 sampai 5, kenalah merasa lah tambah lagi 2 jam extra kerja. Okay, itu dia punya impact dia. Okay, kalau customer pula macam mana, contohnya buka kedai kan, kalau kita buka kedai bakery ataupun kedai makan, okay, operation hours start kalau macam sebelum ni 24 hours, tapi because of PKP kena buka pukul 8, habis pun pukul 8. Okay, so kita kena bagi tahu kita punya customers, due to coronavirus and due to PKP we need to control our operation hours. Okay, kalau kita tak follow the standard required by the government, kita yang kena juga. That's why we need to properly maintain our relationship with customer dengan bagi tahu, make sure diorang faham kenapa kita buat that kind of decision. Okay, and then kita ada apa, social and political action groups. Okay, tengoklah kan, tengoklah macam kes sekarang ni kan. Okay, sedap je menteri-menteri rasa macam aku nak buat ni, aku nak buat tu. Okay, tiba-tiba PKP fasa 4 dah berakhir. It was supposed to end on May 12, tapi tiba aja semalam dah cancel, hari ni kira dah habis PKP 4. Sekarang ni pula dah jadi PKP number PKP MCO 5. Okay, phase 5. Okay, cakap je. So macam kita ni sebagai rakyat marhain, we have to keep up with the current news. Dia punya news tu sekarang ni, the issues motif sangat. Semua jadi macam orang tu nak cakap, orang ni cakap, orang tu cakap, tak ada coordination langsung. At the end of the day, yang merasa impact dia adalah orang kata apa, private firms and people in general. Okay, that's why orang kata apa, whatever organisation does, okay, apa dia work into ways lah. Kalau political action groups ni cakap buat tu, kita pun kena juga. Okay, so and then competitors. Okay, competitors, kita punya pesaing. Let's say you are opening up, orang kata apa sekarang, IOI Mall dah ada apa, dah buka from 10 am to 10 pm despite of MCO. Okay, kita kalau kita ada mall, macam mana kita manager in a mall, macam mana kita nak open, kita nak make sure kita boleh compete dengan kita punya dengan IOI Mall. Let's say you are the manager of Central ICT ni kan. Okay, macam mana nak compete, and then to ensure that orang kata apa, to ensure that the standard of procedures, operational procedures during MCO ni macam mana kita nak handle. Okay, kat situ. So and then trade and industry associations. Okay, trade industry ni kalau company tu macam deals with, if the company deals with orang kata apa, export of goods and services, okay, dengan import of raw materials apa semua tu, these are the stakeholders lah. Contohnya kan macam kalau organisasi kita apa, kita orang tak nak order dah barang daripada contohnya buat apa contohnya buat baju lah kan. Sebelum ni kain import from India. Okay, Malaysia dengan India. Tapi disebabkan orang kata apa, remarks made by Malaysian Prime Minister yang tu Dr. Mahathir, yang pasal India support orang kata apa, India support Israel tu, okay, you shift the orang kata apa, supplier. Okay, instead of importing the materials ataupun the fabrics from India, now you want to import fabrics from China. Itu namanya orang kata apa, bila one organisation dah buat decision tu, nanti Trade Industry Association pun will be affected directly and indirectly lah. Tapi kalau macam saya punya contoh ni, it will affect directly. Okay, so government, okay, tengok macam saya guna social and political action groups lah. Itu pun government tu boleh guna dalam social and political action groups. And then media, okay, macam if any company, kalau macam if any company wants to do something kan, okay, kena sebarkan benda ni. Sebab apa? You want to show to the world that you are a company yang kata apa, being concerned towards this society. Okay, selalunya macam kalau nak buat corporate social responsibility kan, nak tunjuk. Sebab apa? Sekarang ni banyak company yang dah sedar pentingnya nak buat CSR, corporate social responsibility tu, as a means to show, to get support from the society. Sebab apa? Kalau lagi banyak aktiviti kebajikan kita buat, lagi banyak macam orang akan support kita punya business. Okay, macam Viv Yusof kan, lepas kena bash, dia derma tudung dekat frontliners. Okay, beratus ribu tapi tudung je, motif sangat kan. Okay, keda. Okay, mengumpat pula bulan puasa, berdosa. Okay, and then suppliers. Okay, suppliers kita guna yang tadi macam Trade Industry Association. Suppliers, kalau kita tak nak beli dekat kita punya supplier, kita stop, because you are a very good supplier but then you are from India, sorry, I have to boycott. Okay, nanti yang kena supplier. Okay, supplier tu akan trust akibatnya, sebab dia dah hilang dah dia punya loyal customer yang selalu beli dia punya barang. Okay, so dia kena any organizational punya decision akan impact di suppliers, and then the communities, the society as a whole. Kalau company tu jenis buat bahan kimia, lepas tu sedap je, habis orang kata apa, dah manufacture those things, okay, the wastage buang kat tepi sungai. So tepi sungai nanti bila letak buang kat sungai, ikan mati. Bila ikan mati, nelayan tangkap ikan dah busuk. Okay, jadi ikan pun tak boleh jual. So harga ikan jadi mahal sebab kata apa, scarce resource of fish ataupun protein. Okay, and then shareholders. Okay, shareholders ni of course lah, kalau mana-mana company, selalu kita shareholders ni company yang besar. Okay, macam apa, Hazanah ke, Telekom Malaysia ke, baru-baru ni kenapa share price for Telekom naik? Okay, sebab the need, okay, the demand for stable internet connection waktu PKP ni is very very high. Okay, nak buat online class, nak buat kata apa, nak beli online course apa semua, kena have a secure internet connection. Okay, that's why harga saham untuk TM sekarang ni menaik. Sebab apa? Sebab there's a demand for there's a demand for technological improvement. Bila dah ada share price increase, okay, nanti TM, Telekom Malaysia ni senanglah dia nak bina new menara pencawang ke apa ke, tak kisahlah, just to improve the internet connection. So as a result, people are going to buy the service. Okay, user service. Bila dah use service, bayar apa semua, dapatlah income apa semua. So boleh bayar kat shareholders. Okay, so any organisation pun decision tu akan impact di shareholders. And last sekali, unions. Okay, unions ni siapa? Kesatuan pekerja. Okay, kalau rasa macam at the end of the year, rasa macam nak naikkan gaji pekerja by 1%. Okay, jadi union ni, contohnya union adalah labor union dalam company tu marah. Apalah, income banyak, profit banyak, tapi nak increase the staff punya gaji by 1%. Okay, tapi kalau macam top level apa semua tu 4%, tak boleh lah, tak boleh. Okay, benda macam tu lah. Buat je apa-apa, these are the people ataupun these are the stakeholders. Apa je yang kena satu company tu buat, it will affect this group of people entirely. Okay, so that's all on organizational stakeholders. Okay, so moving on to organizational culture. What the heck is organizational culture ataupun OC? Okay, culture is perceived. It is not something that can be physically touched or seen, but employees perceive it on the basis of what they experience within the organisation. Okay, kata apa, budaya macam dia bukan, you cannot touch that culture. you can orang kata apa, you can see physically the culture, but then you can perceive it. Okay, you nampak, okay, if this selalunya macam dalam company tu kan, selalunya new employees will see the culture in that company. Okay, macam mana budaya dia, contohnya budaya bully newcomers ke, ataupun budaya appreciate newcomers ke, apa semua tu. That's what we call as organizational culture. Kalau macam tengok orang kata apa, a good organizational culture where everyone tries to help the newcomer, nak buat tu, nak buat ni, macam mana kita nak benda basic je, how to use orang kata apa, photocopy machine ke, where is the bathroom ke, where is nearby accessible elevator ke, benda-benda tu lah. Bila kita nampak benda tu, orang sentiasa menolong, that is what we call as organizational culture. It is not explicitly written in the book of code of conduct apa semua, but then you can see how the people work as a whole. Okay, so culture is descriptive. It is concerned with how members perceive or describe the culture, not whether they like it. Okay, not with whether they like it. So descriptive, macam mana how the members of our organisation tengok, macam dia nak describe. Okay, dia bukannya macam ikut apa yang dia suka, tapi but then macam mana dia nak orang kata apa, to lay out in words those organisation culture. Okay, and then culture is shared. Even though individuals may have different backgrounds or work at different organisational levels, they tend to describe the organisation's culture in similar terms. Benda ni memang as a kata apa, bila awak dah kerja nanti awak akan nampak. Okay, regardless of your position ke, regardless of your authority power dekat one company, okay, this culture is shared. Okay, dia macam it will impact one another in a way yang macam lama-lama orang tu, walaupun dia kata macam dia ada mission untuk ubah company tu, kalau dia seorang je, dia tak boleh nak ubah. Okay, everyday macam contoh budaya company apa, mengumpat new staff, itu budaya benda-benda tu. Macam try to avoid those kind of things. Kita kata apa, terapkan culture yang positif, macam tu. Okay, that is organizational culture. Okay, the orang kata apa, nak kata definition pun boleh jugalah. Okay, alright, these are the dimensions of organizational culture. Okay, tengoklah. Attention to detail, outcome orientation, people orientation. Okay, kalau attention to detail, okay, ada company is very very meticulous, sangat-sangat mementingkan quality. Tapi ada company dia boleh survive without having to think of the quality pun. Okay, macam asal boleh je nampak pump dah settle, lulus, boleh jadi boleh produce apa semua, lepas kata apa, lepas nak buat syarat. Okay, still boleh thriving. Tengok yang macam baru-baru kes yang Minah yang jadi doktor gigi dekat rumah tu, letak atas sofa terkoyak tu. Okay, walaupun dia bukannya not a certified dentist, tapi dia still ada customer. Okay, nampak the attention of detail tu. Okay, organizational culture, walaupun bukan organizational lah, tapi nak bagi contoh macam even though engkau bukannya a certified, belajar 5-6 tahun dalam dental school ke apa kan, okay, tak ada pun degree, tak ada pun kata apa SPM, cabut-cabut je still boleh perform. Okay, now and then kita outcome orientation. Okay, outcome orientation, degree to which managers focus on results or outcomes. Okay, ada company yang pentingkan results. Okay, tapi ada juga company yang pentingkan the experience of working out to get the outcome. Nampak tak? Ada orang macam whatever necessary of means, whatever means of kata apa, action. Okay, by hook or by crook, you have to have a stellar outcome. Okay, tak kisah buat macam mana sekalipun, janji outcome tu kena kata apa, has a very impactful, ataupun kata apa, sangat-sangat bagus lah. Itulah dia punya outcome orientation. Okay, ada company macam tu. And then people orientation. Okay, degree to which management decisions take into account the effects on people in the organisation. Okay, so sini macam ada company yang macam dia pentingkan dia punya pekerja, dia bukannya pentingkan dia punya outcome tu je, tapi people come first. Okay, sebab dia tahu, ada company kata okay, kalau kita pentingkan pekerja kita, our own performance will be better off. Dia ada macam tu. Okay, and then kita team orientation, degree to which work is organised around teams rather than individuals. Ada company yang macam dia sebenarnya bukanlah not necessarily a culture. Kadang-kadang the nature of the job itself requires you to work independently. Tapi sometimes dia macam tak boleh nak elakkan lah. Memang akan ada kerja yang memerlukan teamwork. So selalunya kalau company yang dia tak suka teamwork ni selalu susah sikit lah. Sentiasa nak bergaduh, sentiasa nak tunjuk dia pandai. Okay. So then aggressiveness, degree to which employees are aggressive and competitive rather than cooperative. Tengok adalah kaitan dengan team orientation tu. Tak boleh, biar aku je seorang je buat, biar aku je buat ni, orang lain tak boleh buat. Okay, nak tunjuk dia betul je. Okay, there is aggressiveness. And then stability, degree to which organizational decisions and actions emphasize maintaining the status quo. Okay, kata apa, ada company macam stability ni, dia macam kalau kita ni company tu nak shift to have a new establishment of management, ada yang macam berkeras nak berada di takut yang lama. Itu dia macam stability. Okay, orang kata apa, status quo yang orang kata apa dah ada at the other place, dah selesa kat situ. Okay, innovation and risk taking, degree to which employees are encouraged to be innovative and take risks. Okay, employees sekarang ni at the world of technological advancement, employees are encouraged to have to be innovative. Okay, so that nanti sebenarnya dia punya goal tu adalah to reduce the cost but to maximize the profit. Okay, these are the dimensions of organizational culture. Okay. Okay, managerial decisions affected by organizational culture. Okay, dia ada 4. Okay, macam hari tu kita, bukanlah hari tu, tadi lah kan. Okay, dan yang video yang saya share tadi, there are 4 management functions: planning, organizing, controlling and leading. So every function of management ni dia akan ada isu dalam yang ada kaitan dengan organizational culture. So nampak tak arrow culture ni, dia macam pushing factors that shows macam how kata apa, how kalau contohnya kalau planning ni, manager punya plan ni is affected by the organizational culture. Contohnya macam planning, the degree of risk that plans should contain. Okay, whether plans should be developed by individuals or teams, the degree of environmental scanning in which management will engage. Contohnya lah planning, contohnya dia macam plan, okay, aku ingat nak buat this kind of project, but then it requires teamwork, but my company is not a company that value teamwork, semua macam nak aggressive. So what should the manager do? Okay, what should the manager do to enhance dia punya competitiveness within dia punya workers? How to tackle, how to make sure that with diorang punya characteristic tu, with that organizational culture, how can a manager tackle and try to maximize the profit? Itu dia kata planning. Kalau dia kata okay, aku nak nurture dia punya teamwork tu, teamwork kat situ, walaupun dia sekarang ni more kepada individualistic punya value. Okay, individualistic punya culture. So kenalah plan macam mana kita nak enhance, kita nak nurture, nak kata apa, timber, terapkan nilai-nilai teamwork tu dekat dalam organisation kita. That is what we call as planning. Okay, yang affected by the culture. Okay, and then the organizing, leading and controlling, you carry on your own lah. Okay, kalau sebanyak sangat cakap pun lemau juga kan. Okay, so that's all. Okay, so that's all for the second topic of this course. Okay, still in the topic number 1 lah, tapi dia punya the second part. Okay, the management environment. I hope you understand this topic. Okay, if you have any question, please do not hesitate to ask. Okay, I thank you. You can watch these videos at any time you want, but make sure you watch lah. Kalau tak, nanti assessment susah sikit. Macam kita apa, nak exam tu susah sikit lah kan, nak dengar explanation. Mestilah kena explanation kan, bukannya baca membayi buta. That is not what we do. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you for listening to my lecture, never ending lecture, and I hope that we are going to have a blessed Ramadan. Okay.